And yet another little video from the same train. We're still on the way to Shenzhen. We are in a high-speed train, but we're still taking the time. And we actually, we got approval from the back. But who do we have here? Our teacher, we call him the lovely teacher of our whole trip. It's Chuck. And Chuck is the managing director of Quiet Light, a broker focused on many of the US-based sellers, right? Selling your products in the US and getting your business ready for selling it. Chuck, give us a few hints, help us out a little bit. Like, what should we do? What should we watch out for when building the brand? How do you help and so on?
Yeah, I think some of the most important things are, one, you've got to plan to sell, right? So you got to do things in advance to make sure your business is ready to sell. The biggest thing would be learning the difference between accrual and cash-based accounting. It can add significant value. We're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars in value.
Dig into that a little bit. Yeah.
So, and you want me to dig in now on it, or?
Oh, give a few hints.
So,
and then
on cash-based accounting, you buy $100,000 of inventory, and in January you're saying, my P&L shows I had 100,000. Versus accrual-based accounting is, hey, I sold 1,000 units this month at $5 per unit. My cost of goods sold for the month is $5,000 versus the 100,000. And what it does is it smooths out your P&L. Additionally, if you started the year and you have a growing business and you started with 100,000 in inventory and you ended with 300,000 in inventory, there's a $200,000 delta there. And if you're doing cash-based accounting, it makes it look like you made $200,000 less in profit.
Yeah.
When you're doing accrual-based accounting, all of that extra inventory is the same as cash. It's just in the form of inventory. So you haven't sold it yet, therefore it's not on your P&L. So you would remove that cost from the P&L, or you're not really removing, you're just not adding it because it's not a true cost yet. Another important thing would be making sure that you're building your business to be transferable. If you can't transfer a business, you can't sell a business, right? So if you're getting
two personal relationships or so,
if you've got a personal relationship with somebody and that's not going to be transferable,
supplier,
or if you're, if, let's say it's a service-based business and you're the main salesperson in that business.
You're
How
the
are you going
face
to
of the
sell that
company.
business? Yeah, if you're the face of the company, all kinds of things. So very important to make sure that you can transfer the business.
So interesting to say that you're not only focusing on Amazon-based product businesses, but you're also selling service businesses.
Service, content, SaaS, anything that's digital. Don't bring me a gas station. Don't bring me a laundromat, but any kind of digital-based business.
Okay.
Yeah. What else? So risk. The higher the risk, the lower the value, the lower the risk.
Because you don't want your business to go right there into the trash collection. No, you want to make safe that your business is sellable and not trash.
Yeah. So think about the things that keep you up at night. What's concerning to you? What are the risks to the business? And then how can you lower those risks, right? Like what can you do? So, I'm worried about my supplier, right? Like, are they going to deliver product on time? Maybe you have two suppliers, right? And you have a backup supplier, so that if something happens to the first supplier, you can go to the backup supplier. Additional things, it's important to make sure that you're using somebody, or you're making sure that you're getting maximizing your margins, right? So like these guys, making sure that if your product was $5 per unit, but you can really negotiate down to $4. That's all added value.
When do you
right?
recommend doing that? Looking into your margin, looking into optimizing your product cost. Do you recommend doing this, just before the sale, or is it better to have half a year, 9 months, a year running on new profit?
Yeah, right. So you can certainly, if you can get your product price down, you can do some adjustments going backwards. But realistically, people are going to buy your business based on the trailing 12 months. Yep. So if you can have a full 12 months with your profit and loss looking perfect, that's going to give you the most value.
One of the other things that we've, of course, monitored and watched for, noticed is that, it doesn't matter if you don't do it, the buyers, they come to us and they say, you know what, sign an NDA, I want to buy that business, and do me the favor, Signify, go and find out if I can already get this product for cheaper later on. This makes it, of course, for the buyer side, a lot more attractive to buy you. They will not tell you that they got the product cheaper, but if you go in and you say half a year or 9 months in advance, or maybe a year, you optimize your product cost, you get a higher margin. Think about the multiple. What's going to happen to that?
Yep, no, it's definitely the way to go. And I think people often confuse buying a business with buying or selling a house. And when you sell a house, the last thing you do before you sell it is put some fresh paint.
Yeah. Make sure you have a ticket.
We fix the broken light switch.
Yeah.
You do all these things to make it like move in ready perfect. When you're buying a business, the business makes how much it makes, even with the broken light switch. If I fix the broken light switch today, I've removed opportunity that somebody else might see, but I haven't captured the value yet. So the buyer is going to get that value moving forward, but you didn't capture it in the sense of you didn't get a higher price. So if you're going to fix a broken light switch, right, do it 6 months, a year in advance so that you can capture the value, right? So let's say fixing something or changing something makes me an extra $10,000 a month. If I do it now, I made $10,000. Let's say I get a 3.5 times multiple, it gives me an extra $35,000 in value. Right? If I did it a year ago, it's 10 times 12. Right, 120,000 times 3.5. Now we're $400-something thousand in additional value.
But what a lot of buyers, on the other hand, also want to see, so to think of like, do you want to optimize everything, or do you want to actually leave something for the buyers themselves? Because if they go in and they say, oh my god, he's making so much money with those crappy images, I would go in and I see a big opportunity to say, I'm going to optimize my images, I'm going to make a lot better sales still, but of course I'm not going to tell the seller. So if they see an opportunity and you kind of leave them an opportunity for improvement, they see I'm buying a profitable business, I'm buying a business that brings me, some cash flow, and on top, I do know as well that I can still improve his business. So making it even more interesting for him if you don't, raise out or clean out all the opportunities you could have. So leave some on the table if you're not necessarily, you don't need to do them last minute.
Yeah, and one of the things I always tell people is no matter, just start writing down ideas you have for growing your business, because you may think it's dumb, that's not something I'm going to be good at. You don't have to do it, right? Like you present those as opportunities for a buyer. And if you're not sure, like, okay, I think I'm going to sell in 1 year.
Right.
Should I try this thing?
Right.
What's your how likely are you to be successful at it, right? Maybe it's better just to leave it as an opportunity for the next person.
And
versus,
tell them.
Yeah. Versus you trying and failing at it, and now you've removed that opportunity they might see because they ask you, hey, have you thought about this? And you're like, yeah, I tried that, it didn't work. Right? Like, so sometimes you got to make sure that if you're getting close to being ready to sell, the opportunities you test, you're confident in your ability to execute on those.
How do the buyers react when you usually say, it's like, a lot of people are selling the business because I'm tired of it, I don't have the energy anymore, I maybe do believe I can't make it more profitable, get more out of it, or I just want to do something new, So, would you recommend the sellers actually to go to the buyers and say, look, one of the reasons why I want to exit is I want to do something different. I lost the motivation, I don't really want to grow it anymore, but I think my baby is better off in the hands of somebody else who has the energy.
Yeah,
does that make it interesting to them? I guess so, right?
Everybody has a story, and it's important to know why. He's not coming through. It's important to have a reason why you're selling the business.
Hello there.
So you can't just say, I'm just selling the business because I want to sell the business, right? Like, you've got to have a reason. I'm burned out, I'm tired, health issues, I have an opportunity somewhere else, so I want to sell this business and then go and do something else.
I have some compliance issues. Maybe not.
Another thing you want to do is make sure you're being transparent when you're going to sell the business. Right? People are going to do due diligence. They're going to dig in deep. And if I negotiate a price to buy a business, I negotiate a price with you. And okay, we're going to give you $1 million. Then they start doing the due diligence and they start finding negative things. Now it's 800. Now it's 700. Now it's 600. But if you were upfront with that, it's like I always tell people. You want to give the negatives up front, because when they're reviewing your business and there's a negative, they say, okay, check. Like, they tick it off and then they put it in their memory, say, okay, I know about that, I don't like it, but it's okay. But if they go into due diligence, they've already made the offer and now they see it, it's not a check anymore, it's a big red X. And they're like, oh, we got to lower the price now. So whereas it might have been a minor thing that might not even have affected the price, now they have leverage once they're under contract, and hey, you didn't tell me about this. What else are you hiding? What else don't I know about? Now I'm scared.
And it may break the deal in the end if they have the feelings like, okay, my gut feelings like there's something hidden as well. He didn't tell me about it. It's not honest, so there might be more problems.
I've seen little things where, the first little thing, okay, no problem, it was a mistake. But the second and third, we're done. Like, you're lying to me now. And it was a minor thing, but because they weren't upfront about it, it hurt the deal.
You're not gonna buy a house either if you see there are some problems, something hidden, you know, maybe some paint obviously freshly applied over it to cover something. Same thing. It's a lot based on trust as well.
For sure.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Absolutely. I think we're getting to Shenzhen right now.
Yep.
So,
in order to sell a business, we need to build it first. So we're heading out to Alibaba and show them, or let them show all of us a little bit more of, you know, what do they offer and how to go. Of course, I mean, that's where we're in here for finding suppliers as well. When is a good time to get in touch with you and how to get in touch with you?
Yeah.
Not last minute, right?
Yeah, no. Well in advance, right? We don't charge any fees up front. We only...
It's getting busy here.
Yeah, we're getting ready to stop. You know, we only get paid if we sell your business, right? And our core value is to lead with value. So we want to help you years in advance. Make sure that you're setting everything up right now, so that sometime in the future when you are ready to sell, hey, Chuck, you've added so much value to me along the way. I want to make sure I sell my business through you. So yeah, reach out early. It's quietlight.com. You can reach out to me. It's chuck at quietlight.com. You got different valuation forms and things you can fill out on the website if you want. But yeah.
Yep. And if not, you know, we always have each other in the contacts. You find us over LinkedIn, over Facebook. We'll just be there.
Yep.
All right.
All right.
Later.
Bye.